that knew they had to work twice as hard as their brothers to avoid judgment from their own mothers. My mother told me a few weeks ago that my constant discussion of rape and what I went through sounded as if I wasn't healing and not forgiving. She said I made her feel like a shitty mother for not being there or catching it on time. I was raped for 2 years. I don't know how much more fucking time she needed. She said her and her sister were sexually abused, but they moved on with their life and never brought it up. It didn't shape who they are, according to her. I told her I understood, except my generation is no longer normalizing sexual abuse or rape of any kind, especially and even from family members. My generation isn't going to go change into full coverage clothes when that Theo comes over. My generation isn't going to think it's normal when your grandfather touches your ass. My generation isn't going to listen to their grandmother call them a liar when running to her for help. My constant discussion allowed my father to finally confess how he was sexually abused as well. And because he was a boy, no one thought it was wrong. My constant discussion allows for me to stop hearing the voices of the women in my lineage from crying and feeling pain for believing their worth was to shut the fuck up. I am not discussing this like discussing everyday news to blame people. I'm discussing this so my 3-year-old daughter and my 6-year-old son won't ever have to fucking deal with this. I'm discussing this because this is how I rescue my inner child. I am discussing this because if it makes you uncomfortable to hear this, then maybe you're part of a generation or a family that normalizes these inhuman expectations. And I am discussing this because if it means my words will make everyone uncomfortable, then this is a small price for what my past generations have endured, and the resistance has to fucking start somewhere. So, preface, fuck divorce. I unveiled this piece because my ex-husband messaged me 2 weeks ago. So this shit needs to be said. Last Christmas, how beautiful the lights twinkled and reflected on the French doors, with the sound of Christmas carols adrift in the air. The spirit fills your heart, they say. What better way to spend today? They didn't expect to be so sad on Christmas. Love didn't last this Christmas. And the stark little tree stood in the corner with a single red ribbon wrapped around it. No lights decorating this tree, no presents underneath this tree. Their dreams extinguished that dreadful day, suspending my last hope she was going to stay. And she threw her wedding dress away, the one with the pearl accents running along the bodice, the intricate design swirling in frenzy, much like her marriage. With a tulle floating skirt and petticoat rustling, the sounds never stopped her. But Eve heard it. The front door let out a muffled gasp. The lights stopped their foray and no longer beamed with joy. Her breath is broken, her tears do not fall silently, but bests down all sense of her dignity. She left the door unlocked that day when she turned to walk away.
Being a poet means a lot of things are true about me. I can share my emotions, I express how I feel, I'm tapped into my softer side. Now that doesn't mean I won't tap your jaw if ever tested. This is a public service announcement that when you assume that I'm not about action when my whole life has been menace to society, but you didn't realize that because you only saw me here. So just because I spill my guts on stage doesn't mean I won't spill your blood in the streets. I turn phrases and turn tough-talking macho motherfuckers into victims. You think that this is a safe space? Well, ain't no space safe when you piss me off. I'll make stanzas with similes of slapping senses of stupid products of semen. I almost stabbed someone at a show one time while another poet was performing. This isn't a macho man try me poem. This is a play stupid games and win stupid prizes, ass whooping ass poem. As a Muslim, a lot of people imagine me in the masjid on a rug in a dress, but forget two of the greatest fighters to ever jump in a squared circle. Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson both made salat and made Caesar salad out of anybody they went against and tossed them up. Inside of this venue, I am an artist. But outside of it, I'm a hard-headed nigga from the east side of San Antonio. This is therapy for me. But don't think I won't take a sabbatical to crash the stage, thrash and rage, drag your face across the cracks of pavement to toss you in the streets like we broke up out of a bad relationship. I don't know who told you I was harmless. But you better go run back and tell them you were talking about a different Brando. This Brando will leave your face on the floor. This Brando doesn't like to play games. I am kind. Just don't think that means I'm weak. I'll rock your jaw with the right hand from Allah that'll loosen your canines, but I'll still help you look for your teeth. I'm peaceful. I don't ever want a problem. But when someone tells me that they want a problem, I just say no problem. I'm with all of the drama, so run and tell your mama. If a sensitive, afraid teddy bear is what you thought about me, then see pain, see these hands, see your face down on the sidewalk, see the reason you won't play with me again, see why you shouldn't judge a book by a couple of chapters of poetry. Thank you.
I got two for you. One's for sure. Year 3. Dear Nana, another year has come and gone, but I think of you daily. Even more so with the hummingbird feeder outside my bedroom window. Sitting in the garage with my mom, it was dark when I walked in, but then you started shining your light through the window. Just enough sunshine to throw on some Louis Armstrong and write to you while I keep my mom company. I realized she wasn't sitting in the dark because it's cooler. It is, but it's because she was sitting in her sadness. She isolates and grieves while I walk around all dressed in black with your rosary around my neck. Playing songs that leave a taste of bittersweet nostalgia at the tip of my tongue. Unable to swallow everyone's pain, I feel powerless, but today I am grateful for a sliver of peace and a shred of hope. About you being home, knowing your return to Pat Pat was never about abandonment, as much as it was the timing. Were you strategic about holding on to life, or was your last breath pure luck? Because since you've been gone, the whole world is on fire. Guns have more rights than our bodies. Everything is upside down, shaken, twisted, and ass backwards, and I can't help but wish to be with you. But not because I want to give up. Although I am tired and used to take the best naps, I know my life has a purpose, and your will is not done yet. Gosh, I miss you so fucking much. Thank you for continuing to share your strength with me today and every day without you physically here. In your spirit, I shall savor toast dipped in coffee. I love you, my dear grandmother. Please give Pat Pat, Uncle Rick, and of course my old man Onyx some extra loving from you today. I listen to y'all's love in the flutter of hummingbird wings. And this is I'm going to short even more, but it ties into it. Have you ever woken up from a sleep so deep that when you open your eyes you realize the middle of your back hurts so bad that you can't move or breathe? I don't know if it's ever happened to me before this morning, or if I'm just sober enough to recognize and acknowledge my pain, my anger, my resentments, my grief. Yesterday I was heartbroken as it was the anniversary of my nana's death. She took her last breath on the Thursday morning of August 1st, and 3 days later, in the morning before her memorial, I woke up gasping for air, orienting myself in reality, checking my phone, and 4 hours prior, missed a Facebook Messenger call from you. You don't answer, but as I listened to it ring, I realized I wasn't dreaming when I heard your outreach. I jumped from my bed and my sister is gone. I sped to y'all's old apartment, frantically praying that I'm not living my worst nightmares. Her phone goes to voicemail too. Pulling up to a parking lot full of pigs who just released beef in their back seat after clearing her from the trigger. Damn. They say don't dwell on the dead for too long, or they'll take you with them. You see, there's something about suicide that really has me shaken up today. Because in 2019 I had almost a year to me, and I wound up, and it was the hardest year of my life. And that morning, my sister's girlfriend decided to shoot herself in the heart in front of my sister on the morning of my grandma's memorial. And I wasn't able to grieve, but I was sober. And I relapsed 4 days before my year, and it was one long, traumatic binge since then. And now I have a little over 60 days clean, and I realized that the first 2 years I couldn't breathe because I was so drunk. I wasn't feeling anything. And today I woke up and I was in physical pain because I'm so angry that it's taken me 3 years to finally feel everything that has to do with losing my grandmother and my sister's girlfriend in the same weekend. And so fucking pissed at how selfish suicide is. Like, so fucking pissed because everyone around me wants to fucking die and I don't understand why. Like, I get how fucked up the world is, but like, god damn it, dude, like, be grateful for the life you do fucking have. Anyways, thanks for letting me share.
Every South summer, he got the Bossier City Sheriff called him for walking down the highway with his pecker hanging out of his pants. And when he got to Wendy's, they refused to give him a glass of water. He called the police himself to tell them that Wendy's staff refused to provide humanitarian aid. He thought that he should not be judged by addiction, but when he spouted off to the officers, "Hey, have you no human decency?" The officers both looked down and his eyes followed theirs, and then he realized this whole time his dick was hanging out of his pants. And the officers had a hard time buying that this was a mistake. He was an addict and always treated like one, even when he swore that the sweltering heat made for no breeze. He never caught the breeze, so he didn't know his pecker was hanging out. And there is absolutely no moral to this story, but I can hear my brother laughing in my head. That's it. That's my shit.